Well, hello. It is good to see everybody today. It's a grand time here in Kentucky. It is bright, sunshiny. It's getting warm again. It had cooled off and was lovely, but today it's warming back up. But that's outside. I'm inside here at the lathe. We're going to have some fun today, turning a bit. I've got a piece of a log. I'm pretty sure this. I know this one is pear. You can see the bark on it, but the bark is starting to flake off. I'm going to pull all the bark off, but we're going to do that idea of farm to table with food, where the farmer has the fresh food, and within a very short time, it's on your table eating it, and that's some of the best there is. We're going to do the same thing with wood. Go log to table. Probably do. I don't know. I don't know how many of these I'll do, but I'm going to do several over the next several weeks. And so that's what we're going to do today. This is just a small piece of pear. It is, because I know you guys want to know. It is 4.5 inches long and right at 3 inches in diameter. Bring my co-conspirators in. There they are. We've got Ruby Claire in Canada. So glad to have Ruby. We've got
Hi.
Wayne Clasper there in England, and Mark is what? No, Mark's Wayne's not in England. He's in. You're in Ireland,
Scotland.
Scotland. I'll
He's
get it right
Scotland.
upstream up
eventually.
north.
In Scotland. Mark is
Hi,
in
everybody.
England. So these guys are going to be helping. They're going to be sharing with me and with y'all any questions that come along, any commentary, any kind of thing like that. Letting me know, and making sure I don't do anything silly, which that never happens. Uh, all right, you guys can go
You
in the
might
back.
tell you might tell you if you do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So anyway, I understand Mark, since he's been out for a while, Mark is going to read off the chat,
I was
and while he's
I was
doing that,
volunteered.
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start taking this bark off of here.
Hi, well, evening, everybody. Wild ducks deep barking. Sorry I've been absent for a while. I've had no computer. Right, so first in the chat, ironically, Pete from Twisted Trees. Thank you, Pete, for rebuilding my PC. We've got Alex, Wurzel the Wood Butcher, Door 60, Rob from Copperell Wood Turning. We've got Roger Wallum, Barry Chitty, Ward Wilson, Fred Gilliver, Lucy Bundy Rowe, Potato, Peter the Parkwood Turner. Going on down, we've got Old Man Riverwood Turner, Malcolm Douglas, Paul Houghton, the Grimsby Turner, James Crawford, Susie the Swiss Wood Turner. Hi, Susie. Bevels are overrated. Hampton Wood Turnings, Marcel Durrett. I tell you, I fell about laughing when she said that to me. Stood there at the lathe giving her a skew lesson. She goes, "Do you know bevels are overrated?" uh, Graham Hain, coming on down. Baz from Real Simple Things. Oui, oui, bonjour. And I think I'm at the bottom of the list. So if I didn't read your name out, it's because you haven't said anything in the chat. Simple as that, really.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All
Pete
right.
says, I'm not in England, I'm in the People's Republic of Cornwall. Spell right.
Uh, I am using in my chuck. I've got a excuse me. I've got a real heavy duty drive center. It's a two-prong drive center, and that's just to get it started. And as soon as I get a tenon on the end of this, we'll get rid of that. Uh, but this wood is hard. It's not that those prongs are not wanting to go in that pair. Anyway, let's get started. I have been turning already today. Golly, my tools are out of out of order. So I'm gonna drive me a
Karsten
little crazy.
Karsten Peterson has just joined us as well.
Hey, Kurt.
And
Hey.
So is Wivey Woodshed.
Wivey, howdy.
Hi, Wivey.
All right. Gonna take this pear and see what we can do with it. Get over here and turn my. There we go. Get you a little closer. Get the face shield down. Get my speed up to where I want it. And hopefully I remember here in just a minute to double check that. My live center, make sure I'm tight. Or my tail
Gonna go
stop.
over it, Doug. Lewis has just joined. Hello, Lewis.
Evening,
Hi,
Lewis.
Well, the trees here have really started changing colors. Some of them are quite a bright red or orange.
AGK's in. Bye, Andrew.
Precious. That bark peeled off without any trouble. It was falling off already. And I'm just getting the
And
cambium
Albert
and
Dawson's in.
Hello, Albert.
Evening, Albert.
just getting it as nice and round for now.
Why would you not use a spindle roughing gouge for that?
Just thinking
I
that
could.
myself.
And
Just in
Chris
case of
has
what you
just
had
come in
planned, was it?
from Trent Creek.
I could use the spindle roughing gouge. The 1/2-inch bowl gouge is just simply my go-to tool. I pick it up out of habit for virtually everything I do. There we go. Now, while I'm
Anthony
at it,
Green's just joined.
Evening, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
Taking just half a second to rearrange my tools here. Get them where they belong. Isn't it funny how we get used to them being in one spot? When they're not
Yeah.
there, it's all wrong.
Bert Scholes has joined us also. Welcome,
Good
Bert.
Bert.
evening. Hey, can I
Sorry,
just say, I went into the Worldwide Woodturners meeting last Wednesday night for the first time, and I really appreciate the welcome I got there. It
The
was
guys
absolutely
really,
superb, and it was a good meeting as well.
the guys really enjoyed you being there, Wayne. They're still talking about it, some of them.
You're a celebrity, Wayne.
Absolutely.
Never know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
It depends on what he gets into the news doing.
Yeah.
When people still talk, no, I'm not going to say that.
Well, hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow night.
Yes, hopefully I'll be there tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Love
if
to have you.
anyone else is interested, just Google the Worldwide Woodturners, go to their page, and if you scroll down, you'll see a
Go to
little button, and you click on it for enter the meeting, and come and join us tomorrow night.
That's worldwidewoodturners.org, O-R-G. And if you're on a PC, right underneath the heading, there will be a whole string. Let me get down here where you can see it. Be a whole string of little pictures. Those are links to different things. And then right under that, you should see a go to meeting button. And that takes you right into the Zoom.
Right, Lucy has said that she thought about going in, but nodded off on the sofa. And Alex was in last Wednesday as well, asking if I was tired in the morning. Going to bed at 3:15 does him no good at all. I didn't actually manage to stay till the end, Alex, to tell you the truth.
Pete said that he was reading another wood turning forum where someone claimed his workshop used to have so much dust he lost pencils. And I know that these days the shavings are so deep he loses his lathes.
Wonder who he could be
Yep.
talking about.
Now,
Yeah.
Pete, you shouldn't be losing pencils, and neither should Mark with the pencil holders that I gave both of you.
All my pencil holders are full. 2
Good.
pencils.
And
One my safety glasses.
and attached to your lathes, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah, the holders I gave them all have springs on them with magnets, so that they should be nearby.
Pencils.
Yes.
In answer to Jennifer's question, I'm pretty good tonight, Jennifer. Thank you. I think
Good
I
evening,
said on
Jennifer.
my I think I said on my live last week that I get that much shavings in my workshop that I've got to keep on putting blocks underneath the lathe so I can get up to the proper height.
I believe you did. All right. Well, I thought I
And-
took that down. There it is. Just break the top loose from the bottom. So we have two just separate pieces. Get my tailstock out of the way now.
Bert Spools has said he's been in a few of the chats. Not sure if I have in the past, but anyway, his name is Michael Burt. He uses Bert's Bulls because it's play on Bert's bed. I have no idea what he's talking about when he's talking
that
about Bert's bed.
Is that a Sesame Street reference or something?
Anyway, welcome,
Learning.
Michael.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome along.
All right.
Oh, Bert's
Wayne
B.
mentioned-
Bert's B, not Bert's bed.
I think it was Mark or Wayne a while ago that mentioned maybe a box out of this piece of wood. I had been thinking about a something else.
Oh, Zed's in. Stand by your
Hey,
beds.
Zed. But anyway, going with this. Oh, I was going to go with a natural edge bowl, but I couldn't do that because of the loss of the bark on it. Let's see. So anyway, we're going to do a little box. It's just a reminder line for me, so I know that's the bottom of where I'm heading. Put a little shape to this.
Rex B's in. Hello, Rex. Hope you're feeling
Hey,
well.
Rex.
Hey, Rex, how you doing?
All right, I kind of like that.
Oh, Zed started already.
Already?
I
Yeah,
felt just
already.
ignoring him and he stopped.
He gave you some community advice and a reminder, always pay your exorcist or your house might get repossessed.
Yeah.
I think they take one look at the mess I've got going here and they decide they don't want to repossess it quite yet.
We were living in this house right at 7 years, 8 years, somewhere in there, and decided we were going to buy this house. Of course, you buy a house, it's got to be assessed by the bank, see if it's worth what they're going to try to loan you or what you want them to loan you. And the assessor came and she came down here in the basement where my shop is, and she was looking around and she says, "You really don't want to move, do you?" I said, "No, I don't." If I had to move, that would have been fate worse than death.
Right,
Dances.
Mike from Dancers has just come in, and Rex. I was about to ask you this, Rex, anyway, but His treatment is 95% done. Tomorrow is his last day. Yeah, I remember you saying the 26th. And then he gets to go home.
Brilliant. It's fantastic news, Rex.
Yep,
It is
that's
good
great.
news.
Sorry, I got that date wrong. It's the 26th today.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of the days, isn't it, Wayne, when you get our age?
Oh, mercy.
Oh, definitely. In fact, if you remember, I can't. It might have been on Doug's show last week when we were talking about wedding anniversaries, and I said it was going to be my 43rd this year, and apart from sometimes getting the day wrong, I got the year totally wrong. It's our 40th this year.
Oh dear.
I was only 3 years out though.
Yeah, but it depends on what gift you get your wife for.
Well, I did look up the 43rd, and there's no specific gift for the 43rd, but for the 40th, it's Ruby. So there you go, Ruby.
No, you cannot. You cannot give me as a gift. I refuse.
I'll just give some Hampshire Sheen intrinsic.
There
That's
you go.
true. That would
That's an
work.
idea.
So Mike's asking
Full of
if I got the
relationship
century
tips.
right. Jane just said unlikely.
Well, Anthony said you could make a ruby colored bowl for her.
I could just imagine Jane's reaction if Wayne gives her a bowl.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't go down well.
I think Wayne
Okay.
would be wearing it.
Make her a ruby colored snowman or a penguin or something like that.
I might actually raid her craft desk and see if I can find any sort of ruby coloured type stuff there and make some earrings. I've
Secret
just
pendant.
been told I'm not allowed allowed near her bloody desk.
Here's what I'm looking for. Little
Oh, here we go.
number 1 hollower.
Ben's got it right.
Nice one, Ben.
She'd like a Simon Hope XL steady rest. Yeah.
No, Katie's just
Fucking
come in. Evening, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hiya, Katie.
Hello, Katie.
And Clint's just come in as well.
Hi, Clint.
Oh, Martin Clarkson has had some issues and is.
He certainly has. Yes.
Yeah, you want to talk about that, Wayne? Go ahead.
Well, Martin's had a couple of few issues to do with having to move home and not being able to do any wood turning for a while. So he has set up a GoFundMe page to help with that. I read the post the other day, and that's about all I can remember, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, basically it was sudden eviction. Something about some new rules that they've enacted there. I didn't quite understand that part, but he's having to move, and his shop is either in storage or packed or both, and he's needing. I think he's found a place to live. Sounds like, but he's needing some help getting a shop established. So there is a GoFundMe to help with that.
Doug, would you like me to put the link for that?
If you've
GoFundMe
got
in
it,
your
yes,
chat?
sir. Go for it.
Now, Andrew said a bit earlier on, that's AGK said a bit earlier on, that's a very nice tool you're using there, Doug.
Thank you, Precious.
Andy Llanethley's just come in. Good evening, Andy.
I think I heard somebody once say, "My precious."
And
there's the
Douglas
link for
Mungan's
Martin.
just come in as well.
There's
sorry,
the
who's that?
link for Martin Clarkson's GoFundMe. Set up a new workshop.
If
And
y'all can help,
Zed has come up with, you want to be careful of how much food coloring you use in your bacon, or you might end up dying inside. Oh, God. I don't know why I bother reading them out, tell you the truth.
there are some times. Okay, we have it hollowed out. We've got it smoothed out. Just turn it off and just double check, make sure we're good to go. And we are. Got a little nib right in the very, very bottom. So we're gonna knock that out real quick. Just finishing out with I did most of the hollowing with the number one hollower, the mid size. And then this is the finisher. There, we got that nib. Oh, I didn't need to turn that off just yet. I'm going to make a little bit of a ledge here for my lid to sit on.
Andy, the Lynethel's in.
I said that.
Did you? Did you
Yes.
say it the same way I did?
Yes.
It's easy
Yes,
for
I
you to
got
say.
I got the pronunciation right.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that top ledge just a little bit of an inward slant, just so we get a good fit after a while. Let's see. Yeah, I still got my mark here, but I'm going to deepen that where I'm going to part it off. This wood does have a crack in it. I don't think it's going to fall apart. Here we go.
Oh, Lucy's just said we've missed Andy.
Hello,
Evening,
Andy.
Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Don't know how he's hard to
Glad
miss.
to have all of you along. It's good to have you with us today. We found out, my wife and I found out, our son has a performance this evening, about 2.5 hours away. So as soon as we're done here, I've got to go run upstairs and clean up very quickly, and then jet down to where his college is. And anyway,
Excellent.
but we're glad that you guys are here. We're going to have a good time while we're here today. All right. Just pushing right in the center, making sure I'm
And Tim
centered
Pond
up.
has just come in as well.
Hey, Tim. Another one of our Worldwide Woodturner folks. Now, I've got to, I'm going to measure the inside of this so that I can mark.
That's right, Ben. It is.
All right, get that out of my way. So, well,
Sorry. Zed just said, what's the difference between a Lamborghini and a huge pile of sawdust? I don't have a Lamborghini in my workshop.
Neither do I. I don't have one in
mm,
my driveway either.
Well, I might do, but it's covered in sawdust, so I don't
yeah,
really
would
know.
you ever know? All right, got my mark
be.
there. Y'all can almost see that, but I'm going to make it where you can definitely see it.
Doug, it's been a
Yeah.
long time, but could I put my link for tomorrow in, please?
Absolutely. And I just realized I did that totally backwards. So, nice thing about wood, we start over. Yes, Mark, Mark's going to have a live for the first time in, what's it been,
I
Mark?
can't even remember when.
Couple of months, maybe?
Do you
2 or 3
remember
months,
how
yeah.
to do one, Mark?
No?
Yeah. Probably 1897, the last one.
Thank you. Yeah, no, don't have no clue. So tomorrow anything could happen.
You
Here's a
may
teaser for you.
Well,
You may
we'll
want-
keep an eye on you.
Absolutely.
Well, you
All
better
right.
tell them what time, Mark.
It's 1 o'clock UK time. 1 p.m.
That's 8 a.m. for
Eastern.
most of us in Eastern Standard Time.
So Mike at Dances with Aardvarks said he went sawdust magnet fishing this afternoon looking for a collet, and all
my.
kinds of stuff was in there.
Yeah.
Susie, think about that question a bit. Just think
Yeah.
about it. What's tomorrow?
It's Wednesday tomorrow, Susie.
Yeah, so if I move it to the evening, who's going to be upset? Well, he won't be upset. I would, because you'd all be watching him and not me.
And
Wayne's
Mark
on
couldn't
tomorrow.
do Mark couldn't do tomorrow night anyway because he's earworming for me.
Yeah.
And the Worldwide Wood Turners are going to be on tomorrow night too.
Yeah, that's
That's a little late.
midnight UK time.
Yep.
I couldn't do that either, Susie, because AGK's got a video premiere on it, 9:30. So I'd overrun that. Lunchtime, you can always watch it on playback.
Yes, you can.
It's not be anything fantastic. I'm just turning a sphere. A skittle ball for those in the UK.
So Rex has said he will be beginning his last treatment, but he'll watch it on his way home.
Thank you, Rex.
Lucy,
Rex.
Mark is going to be turning a sphere freehand tomorrow.
Skittle ball, 5-inch
Rex.
diameter.
Rex, just drive carefully while you're watching Mark.
Tell you the truth, turning spheres freehand is a lot easier than all the faff you've got to do setting up a sphere jig.
Yeah.
I found the same thing was true with a copy jig for doing balusters and newel posts. I found the time that it took me to set up the jig to use it, I could get them all done freehand faster.
It's
Oh.
going to be oak, Lucy. It's to match a set of 3 that I made for the club up in Somerset. They needed another one.
Now you're going to put a good luck charm in this one, right? So that whoever throws it has to strike each time.
Yes.
Ben, you're terrible.
All right.
Oh,
We're getting
God.
close.
The comments are coming in about Mark's live. He hasn't even started yet.
Can't have been a month. Surely it was longer than that.
Well, no, you did. Did you not do one with your phone when you were doing the late code poll
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
on Facebook?
Yeah. What was I doing? On the light bulbs, was it? Something.
I thought it was the light bulbs.
Oh, you did your falconry sticks.
Oh, the crayon sticks on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and Ben Jammins has said Mark will be demoing how he finesses his balls. Told you the comments had started.
Yeah.
Rex, Mark, are you donating anything to Steve's auction this year?
Goodness gracious.
No, Rex, I wasn't asked.
I wanted to the first couple of years and it didn't work out. And so when he said something about looking for, he was starting to send his messages. I sent him one real quick. Said, "How about mine this year?" He said, "Sure." Of course, I sent him a picture. That didn't hurt.
Believe Wayne is going to be earworming. I think Doug and Ruby are
will be.
welcome to as well.
I will be.
Absolutely.
We will endeavor to be there.
Mind you,
That's
I
it.
think that to tell you the truth, I mean, as much as I like Douglas, I think that's a bit disparaging. Have me in the background just in case you need help. Well, it's obvious he's going to need help. That's how I'm going to be there.
Yes.
Well.
You rat bag. I was going, oh, thanks, Wayne. And then you just shot me down.
Oh, holy cow! I've been making this tenon a little shorter, and it's bottoming out. Is my issue. All right.
Oh, Katie's eating again.
Eating.
Yeah, she is eating. I believe she's having pot noodles, I think. And Peter's just put in the piece that he did on his live last Sunday. He's got that up on eBay at the moment, and all proceeds are going to the British Heart Foundation, which is the auction this year. Steve's auction this year is for the British Heart Foundation.
Well, I'm glad it's going there and not going into the fire pit.
Yeah. Yeah. That thought was a little disturbing.
Yes, it was a whole lot disturbing.
All right. That's got it where
And
it
Lucy's
fits.
eating as well. Lucy's eating a Biscoff donut.
I've never heard of those.
Well, the Biscoff biscuits are things that you tend to get in coffee shops along with your cup of coffee. But people are doing all different things with them now, the likes of cheesecakes and ice cream lollies and things like this.
Sounds good.
Biscoffs are nice.
And Anthony Green has just put in there, and this is a good bit of advice. The lower belt came off his bandsaw lower wheel yesterday. He refitted it and tensioned it, and it now cuts 10 times better than it did before. Check the belt tensions.
That's good advice. Well, it was Pete that introduced me to Jaffa Cakes.
Oh, the subject of Jaffa Cakes has been going on for years. I think that started back in, when was that, Mark? 2018, 2019? With their deal?
Yeah,
At
between
least.
Dale and Scott, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Well, I had never tasted one until I was at Pete's place and he bought some just for me. It was great.
I still can't believe that you guys couldn't, between Ruby and Pete, y'all couldn't come up with a name. I had to come up with a name of them. And I wasn't there.
I've yet to find a really good peanut butter cookie in this country, though.
Oh,
There's
peanut butter
there's
cookies.
peanut butter cookies. Yeah, exactly.
Tesco's do some not bad ones.
Now,
you need
once
me
you've
to
had an
bring you
American
some.
one, once you've had an American one, Wayne, there's nothing compares.
Okay. Now, Marcel is put in that Ruby, the whole ploy of burning the bowl was to create sympathy and run up the price of the bowl. There you go.
Oh, well, I'm glad. If that had been destined for the fire pit, I'd have been upset.
Yep.
Rex B is asking, is there a link to Pete's beach bowl? He typed Pete twisted trees and got potted plants. Help. I don't know what.
Pete's an
I don't
admin.
know
He
what
can put
Pete.
the link in himself.
Yeah, I don't know what Pete's eBay page is, so I can't help you there. I'm sorry.
Come on, Pete, put the link to that bowl in.
Got the bottom side shaped. This is always the fun part. Getting the top of the top.
And Pete has just put the link in to his eBay, either the page or that particular item. So he's just put that in.
Good
Top
deal.
tip for you there, Doug.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you know, but the rest may not. When you turn a lid round like that, it's always better to contract the jaws rather than expand them.
Oh yeah.
Expanding them, you run the risk of splitting the lid.
Absolutely. Especially the way I thinned that
Yeah.
that tenon. If I had left it where I was originally, might have been okay. But for this one, definitely to
And the
clamp down was
temptation is
better.
always to put the jaws inside and expand. But don't do it if you can. Use a bigger
I've,
set of jaws. Compress.
I have broken more than one lid.
Yeah. Don't ask me how I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, the first boxes I did, that was the instructions I was given. Expand, make the tenon to fit your box, but
Yeah.
then hollow it out and then expand into that. Well, in theory, it sounds good, but it is
Well, to
so
tell you the
easy.
truth, tell you the truth, that's the way I do it.
Sure, it can be done.
Okay, I'm just joining in with the links. So there is the link to my live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. start UK time. That'll be 8 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 5 hours for us.
Now, speaking of techniques, I notice as you're holding your tool in your right hand, you have your thumb forward. And I was taught that when you're rolling a bead like that, you put your forefinger forward on the center.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Come
Right.
on now.
Carsten Pedersen has said the Supernova manual claims that expanding is stronger than compressing. That really all depends on the direction the grain is running, Carsten. The way that Doug has got the grain running here is that the grain is running along the bed of the lathe.
Yes.
So he is expanding into end grain. So expanding into that is not as strong as expanding into side grain.
Yeah. The wood is actually weaker in this direction.
Yes.
Well, I'm not coming around quite quick enough. I gotta where the drive center was in this. I've got a pretty deep hole.
Are you
Thank you,
going
Andrew.
to add a finial here?
I was not planning to. This is kind of a rounded top, so it's easy to grab hold of.
Okay.
And it's also tapered down. The bottom of the lid tapers down toward the box. Same for the box. It tapers in up toward the lid. We're ready for sanding, believe it or not.
There we go.
Now, Pete says that out of respect or fear to various female friends who have decided I should be cold and not burn the bowl for warmth, that's why he decided to offer it up to the cause. Well, Pete, I'll tell you what, if you think you're going to be cold, I'll come over and warm you up. I'll throw a
No, there's
blanket
an offer, Pete.
I'll throw a blanket or two over top of you, and I'll make sure your cat's snuggled up close.
There you go. Hard to beat that.
Douglas has just been in to PTB and bid on the bull.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Douglas. That is very much appreciated. It's all
Well
going to a
done,
good cause.
Douglas.
Sometimes it's that first on something that's for auction. It's that first bid that gets things started. So thank you for doing that. One of the first things I ever did for charity when I was in high school. I rode in a bike-a-thon, and everybody was saying, "Well, how far you intend to ride that day?" It's a one day, and I said, my plan is to ride 100 miles. People said, "Oh, you'll never ride 100 miles." I did. 104 to be exact.
Very good. The Papa 1947 has just come in. Good
Hey,
evening and
How
welcome.
you, Gary?
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary. Good to see
He
you along,
said
mate.
it's very cold and rainy in Oregon, so He thought he'd watched something where it's probably warm. Yeah, Doug's already said it's warm.
Yeah, it is. It is warm here. It's warm in my shop, in fact. Even though I'm in the basement, got air conditioner running. It's
I don't know if anybody's mentioned before, but Alan Gibson as well. Probably
Hey,
got
Alan.
mentioned earlier.
Well, Lewis mentioned that this is the start of moose season, and Lucy wanted to know what he meant by moose season. And that's when they start hunting moose legally.
yeah.
Now, on this lid, are you going to put a couple lines or some texturing or decoration on the top?
I wasn't. We can. It's those
You
kinds
are
of things
now.
are not tough. Yes. So it's been said. So let it be written. How's that saying go? From the Ten Commandments. It was.
And so it was written.
There you go.
Or Ruby has spoken.
Yeah, that's it.
I did not order him to do this. I just asked if he had considered it.
You constructively suggested.
No,
Yes.
it wasn't even a suggestion. She asked a question.
Is asked a question.
That's
But
I'm
we
glad
know
somebody listens to me, Wayne.
we know when the queen has a question, she means, are you going to do it or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you
Oh,
guys are terrible.
Zed's at it again.
Chris
What do you?
Walters has joined us.
Hiya, Chris. Zed has said, "What do you call a bored robot? A cyborg."
Oh,
Oh God. Oh, Heather's just come in. Good evening, Heather.
hey Heather,
Hi,
Hello,
Heather.
Canadian. Got a full complement of Canadians today.
What do you
I'm
call
sure
it?
there
What do
are
you call a
more.
gathering of Canadians? A flock?
Go on then.
It's a flock, I think, isn't it? Flock of Canadians.
Flock of Canadians.
Was it a maple? A maple of
Maybe
Canadians.
it's a sweep of Canadians.
Is it
Oh,
not an air?
is that a thingy pushing the stones across the ice? What's that called? Curling. A curling of
No,
Canadians.
no, it's not. That's Scottish.
Yeah, but aren't the Canadians playing as well?
Yeah.
Oh yes, they do.
Oh,
No,
yes,
it is.
oh, yes, we do. And as
It
Lewis points out, you can never have too many Canadians.
it's an. I'm sure it's an eh of Canadians.
Hey, yeah, hey,
Eh?
Hey, hey.
lots of Canadians, eh?
I took a
I
bunch of.
didn't know that Mike Walt doesn't like us. That's terrible news.
Come on, there we go.
That's not really fair. I don't think Mike likes anybody. Really.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks, Mark.
I'm fairly safe in saying that because I know he ain't watching. He's working.
he likes most everybody but Mark and Pete, I think.
Yeah, he's fairly ambivalent against the pair of us.
Mike
We
the
even got
Hoot.
T-shirts with his name on. He still didn't like us.
Yeah.
Dances with Aardvarks figures about 40 Canadians is enough for a flock.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Tell you what, we are here in Kentucky. We are in the path of the Canadian geese migration.
No.
They
The
make
snowbirds as well.
Yeah, the geese make a mess, an absolute mess of our golf courses this time of year. Poor superintendents, they're out there,
They
everything
really
they
should
can.
learn to play better golf then.
Well, true.
Well, they mess up our courses all during the summer, so you're just getting a taste of what we put up with.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got images of flocks of Canadian geese driving golf buggies.
Yeah,
They do.
we get. I think we get all the geese from Scandinavia down here.
You may. All right, just finishing up my grit. Takes us up to about 1,000.
Lewis has said he finally got his wife to stop wearing the maker shirt with Mike's face on it to bed.
Oh, mercy.
That's a passion killer.
God.
Yeah. All right, now a little wax on here. We'll get this polished up a little bit. That's one thing. This pear may be an invasive species, and people may hate it, but it turns up nice, polishes very nicely.
Would that be Bradford pear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this was one that came down in the street across from me here. Some friends live over there, and this was her favorite tree to go sit in under during the spring and summer to read, and it came down.
So, novice question.
Uh-huh.
Is that a fruit-bearing pear or not a fruit-bearing pear?
No, it's an
it's not,
ornamental.
Mark.
It's an ornamental, right? Okay.
They're
Yeah.
they're a
Right,
beautiful wood to turn.
Yes.
Yeah, and Lewis is asking, why is it an invasive species? I believe because it was introduced from another country, and it is actually, well, as far as I'm aware, it's classed as a weed.
Yeah.
It's
Here
like
it's
sycamore here.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
self-perpetuating. Go ahead.
yeah,
Wayne.
the thing with Bradford pear is it doesn't actually grow exceptionally big, and it does
No.
tend to be a bit on the brittle side. So with wind and things like this, they do tend to fall down fairly easily. From what I've read.
They break tremendously. They're self-perpetuating. Once you plant one, you're going to have a whole bunch in the years to come. They flower in the spring. Excuse me. Very fragrant flowers. Very nice. People love the smell of them. They grow in a very round shape. That's one reason people like them. They're not tremendously large, and so they have a boundary, kind of a natural boundary. And so people just love them. They were brought from China. Once they flower, they have a little. It's a fruit, but it's not like something you eat. It's more of a
Now,
seed-bearing fruit.
yeah, Zed has said it's in the rose family, and it's from China and Vietnam.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Peter said, my neighbour's got a mock pear tree, so I carved a mock partridge and put it in the tree.
There you go.
Life.
If you were Pete, you'd have to. Just because you're Pete. Seeds are laced with cyanide, apparently.
Well, so are the seeds of apples.
Yeah.
Actually, if you eat a few apple seeds, it keeps your gut healthy.
You don't want to eat too many though.
Like one of those
That's true.
mythical facts that there's more nicotine in a pound of tomatoes than there is in a pack of cigarettes.
No, that's a new one on me.
Yeah.
Tomatoes do have naturally occurring nicotine in them.
The other thing with tomatoes is that you actually lose more weight digesting them than the calories that are in the tomatoes.
Yep. Same with celery as well.
Radishes.
You something more calories eating celery than there are actually in it.
Expend.
Papa's got to go. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Gary. Oh,
See you on
William Kenny has joined us.
Hey,
Yeah,
William.
and Peter
William.
said, yeah, Pete said the problem with tomatoes is that they're hard to stuff into a pipe. Evening, William.
Yeah, potatoes work better.
Potatoes.
Oh man.
Potato.
Potato. I am reversing the lathe direction with each grit as I go along. A lot of times when you have an issue sanding, you got a bad spot that just doesn't seem to want to sand out. If you'll change the direction of your lathe, if you have that capability, it will help tremendously because one direction it lifts those or pushes the fibers down, and then you can reverse it when you turn around the other direction. So
Now
point out grain.
it's interesting that you formed the lid on the chuck, whereas I tend to form the lid stuck on the box.
Yeah, if I wanted a matching joint here, that's what I would have done. But I've got them both. This one curls in, the lid curls in that way. So there's going to be I'm celebrating the joint.
Well, that's a nice expression, celebrating. I like that.
Yeah. Enhancing. There's another word. Um,
Accentuating.
there you go. Accentuating. Yes.
Zed has also put in, according to Wikipedia, pear wood of any species is among the finest textured of all fruit woods. It is prized for making woodwind instruments, and pear veneer is used in fine furniture.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can believe that easily.
Yes, absolutely. Before I polish that up, just so you can kind of see
Oh
the
yes,
bottom
I can see what you
drops
mean in
in, the
there.
lid
Yeah.
drops in. Otherwise, if I wanted those to meet, you're exactly right, Ruby. I would have done that very thing would be to have them connected up together, run a tool across it so they're completely even. First
So
time, go
Lucy said she's going to sit and eat a bowl of tomatoes with just a pinch of salt.
ahead. my,
You
my wife
definitely
does-
need a pinch of salt on a tomato.
my wife did that this morning with a little feta cheese on top, along with her eggs and I know nobody here knows what Geta is. It's
You're right
basically
on that.
it's basically a sausage. Well, it is sausage with. This is just alcohol, by the way. Um, Geta is sausage with um, steel cut oats. Steel
Okay.
cut oats on their own, as far as I'm concerned, are useless. They are nasty to eat, as far as I'm concerned. But you
Don't
mix them
hold
with
back. Just say
sausage.
what you think.
Yeah, you mix them with sausage and fry it up like any other sausage, and I love it. I love it. It's a Cincinnati thing. There's a lot of Cincinnati things, and some of them I like, some of them I don't.
So Katie's asked what type of alcohol. That would be denatured alcohol.
Yeah, or isopropyl works as well.
Well, she suggested vodka, and it's also been suggested that brandy is the best alcohol with pears.
Well, I wouldn't know about that.
I'd tell you, when I was over in Germany in the army, way back when, we used to actually buy the cheapest bottle of vodka you could find in Germany, which was very, very cheap, and use that instead of windscreen wiper fluid.
Ah,
Was that when you were with the Roman legions?
That was it, Mark. Yeah, way back.
Now,
way.
Douglas would like to know how bad does pear crack? Is it like other fruit would? I found it doesn't crack the way apple, for example, does. I
Yeah,
found I found pear was pretty forgiving.
it's more forgiving than a lot. You know, I know most people have a lot of trouble with cherry. I don't have nearly the issue with cherry that a lot of folks do.
I
But
don't
pear,
seem to have it either.
yeah,
Yeah.
pear.
Dale's just come in from Maple
Hey,
Tree Studios. Good
hey,
evening,
Dale.
Dale.
It's good to see you.
And he has said, cheapo Winnie old boozio. He knows me so well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Susie
Cherry, you
said
guys.
apricot and plum
Oh my
cracks
goodness.
much more than pear.
Apricot, about the time you cut it down, it's already split.
Yeah, I find that with holly is particularly bad for that.
Holly will do it.
The eucalyptus that we get in Europe in general, if you put a single saw cut into it with a chainsaw, it's going to crack from then
It's
on.
already cracked, huh?
And the cherry you guys get in North America it's almost construction grade timber. It's nothing like the cherry we get. Cherry we get, all you got to do is look at it wrong, it splits.
Oh, definitely.
Ours is not that bad.
No, definitely not. In
I've
fact,
got,
I've got some apricot that I picked up last week, and I just split it and haven't sealed it, and it's fine. It's holding up great.
yeah. The only apricot I've ever had was sent to me, kind of a trade kind of a deal. Anyway, I opened the box and it looked great. And 3 days later, when I went to use it, it had a split that I was afraid to put it on the lathe.
I have never turned apricot.
I know one thing. I like apricot brandy.
No,
There's always an upside, isn't there?
we've got Andy Bundy Rowan here. We've got Lucy Bundy Rowan here, and obviously I'm here. Jane sitting through at the computer, and our favourite brandy is a German brandy called Asbach. It is one of the best brandies in the world.
Never heard of it or tasted it.
I've only heard of it from Wayne and Lucy talking about it.
The Germans, obviously in German, it's called a Weinbrand, which basically means it's a brandy.
And he says he has lots of apple and that always splits. And I find that that's the same here too.
Fruit tree.
Yeah. The best thing with
Yeah,
apple,
I've brought down. I've got to say, I've brought down 2 or 3 apple trees in our garden, and I got a lot of splits. But it is really nice to turn.
sure is. The best thing that I have found for myself, and everybody's different, but for me, the best thing to do is to cut that apple down into my turning chunks, and I can dry it that way, and have it in the line to turn as quickly as possible. If I rough turn it, it comes out great. But if it's a small piece, if it was something like this size, go ahead and turn it thin, throw it in a pot of water and boil it for about an hour, then set it out, put a towel over the top of it, let it dry, and it may warp like crazy, but it probably will not crack. Now my ultra thin parting tool.
There you go. Lewis is saying to you, Ruby, we had, and this is where he's put her at the end of this. I was expecting an E. Ruby, we had quite an uproar in Parliament, eh?
Yes, we certainly did. The Speaker of the House commended a chap that he had invited to Parliament when the Ukrainian president was there, and he was unaware that the chap who was 98 years old had
Yes, that's
an
when
XSS officer or
the
something.
and
yes,
I
he
mean,
was. Yes,
I think
that
I
was a
think
bit of a mistake.
it was, but at the same time, that was a long time ago. They've embarrassed him. They've embarrassed the entire country. I think it's been taken too far out of line. He was of Ukrainian descent, and I think they should have just left it at that and not said anything more.
It's not like Canadian Parliament to be controversial. He says,
Now, if you
Tony,
notice, Doug's very thin parting tool there is what used to be a kitchen knife.
I've ground it from this point all the way forward. It's flat. Then I've ground off this top edge and the bottom edge. And that's the way I use it, is bottom up. And so I do it the same way. And this is the side that I sharpen. There we go. The top side, what would be the top side, is the side I sharpen all the time. And when this cutting edge gets too long, I come back and grind it so it gets shorter.
Do
And then
a profile.
so I keep it where the what used to be the edge stays up. But that works tremendously, and I got that free out of a box of stuff from a house auction. All right.
Yeah, as Lewis points out, the speaker has taken the heat, but it wasn't his error. So
These things happen. These things
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, folks, there you have it. There's one box.
happen. Oh, nice one, Doug.
that's pretty.
And I'll click around, get the right button here in just a second. Log to table. That would be great for holding toothpicks or maybe condiments of some sort.
Salt.
I was
Salt?
going to say you could put salt in it. Yes.
Sugar packets. Yeah, you can use that for anything. So
For
it's
whatever, yeah.
not a tight fit, but it's not a sloppy fit either. It is
You could
loose.
put some mince in it.
Absolutely. Put some Andes mints or something of that nature. The Brock's hard mints. Anything will work. But there you have it. One Bradford pear log to table box ready to go in
Very, very
right
nice.
at an hour.
Excellent, Doug.
So thank you
Spot
all
on.
for coming along. I appreciate it. Lots of compliments. Thank you all. Thank every one of you for being here and for all you have to say. If you do me a favor on your way out, if you'll make sure you click that thumbs up, and if you don't mind, share it. Just share the link out on your social media. I checked this morning, and I was 14 away from 1,000.
Oh,
Now-
nice one. Only 14. Come on,
I
guys.
creep up. I was
Send
up
it
to
to your
13
friends.
a couple of weeks ago, and it jumped back to 17, and it's worked its way back. So it was 14 this morning. So who knows
Now-
what it is right now?
Lewis has pointed out that in Kentucky you could use it for a snuff box.
Yeah, absolutely, you could.
So if we advertise it as such,
Yeah.
you should get a lot of hits.
There you go. Mark, it goes in your lip, not in your nose.
I was thinking of different stuff.
Yeah, there is the powder snuff that goes up your nose, which is interesting stuff. And my wife's grandmother used to take that real fine powder stuff that you're supposed to sniff. She'd pack a whole bunch of that in her lip, and that'd be
Oh,
all
my
day.
life.
Yep. She was a country woman. She lived in the hills of
Thomas Baz
extreme
chewing
West
tobacco.
Virginia. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, West,
yes.
West Virginia.
Well, it was
Straight
Virginia,
there.
but it was extreme Western Virginia.
That's even worse.
Yeah, she lived less than 10 miles away from the Tennessee line, but she
As
was in
somebody
Virginia.
who grew up in Virginia itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go. Everybody, you have a great week. Hope to see y'all in Mark's live tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow
1 o'clock.
morning for me, 1 o'clock
1 o'clock PM.
for Europe and, Western Europe. How about that? All of Britain, it's 1 o'clock. 8 o'clock for us on the eastern seaboard of the United States and Canada. Your times will vary according to where you live. Thank you all so much. Wayne, Mark, and Ruby, thank you guys for joining me. It's been a good
No
time.
probs, Doug. No probs.
All right. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Bye.
Zed's got a premiere in 2 hours.
Zed, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I forget about that. It used to be on Wednesday nights. Now it's on Tuesday nights. That's great. All right. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Night,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.